Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a Sephora haul. I haven't done one in a little bit. I did pick up some stuff. There's been some new exciting holiday releases that I wanted to get my hands on, wanted to review for you guys. And then I heard there's the friends and family sale and also the VIB sale is coming, but I couldn't wait and I purchased these before I knew about that. So I have some new products from some new lines. I've swatched a couple products and then some of them I haven't even touched, and I cannot wait to get my grimy paws in there. So if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe. I will link everything down below that I picked up today. Hit the notification bell and let's go ahead and begin. So I was gonna save the best for last, but I'm like, you know what? I gotta get my paws into this. I was undecided about this. I wanted to get it, and then I was kind of waiting to see swatches and just more information on it, and I went ahead and picked up the Pat McGrath Holiday Palette. This is the Celestial palette, Mega Celestial Divinity. So this palette I spoke about in my Will I Buy It, and I could not believe the price tag. I believe this was $78, which really is not bad for Pat. When I say that out loud, I'm like, what? That's a lot of money. But for the amount of shades you get comparing to the prices of her normal palettes, I thought it was a great price. I really thought this was going to be $150, something like that. So it's a cardboard packaging. I would say when you feel it, it has a nice weight to it, but it's not like the typical Pat palettes. I'm aware that part of the buying experience of luxury makeup is the packaging and the way that it makes you feel and how heavy it is and the luxe feel of things. This does not have the Pat McGrath luxe feel, but to me it doesn't feel cheap. Feels very on par with a mid-range palette. I'm trying to think of what I would compare it to. I just pulled out my Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette from ColourPop. So I would say weight-wise they feel very similar. Obviously it's a different shape. This is more square, this is more rectangular, but it doesn't feel cheap. It just doesn't have the weight of the big Pat McGrath palettes, which I do own one, and those are heavy duty. Okay, so here's the inside of the palette. How gorgeous are these colors? So you do get 18 shades. There's only a few mattes, which I thought was interesting, and it has a little ribbon right here to be able to stand your palette up with a big mirror. So I'm not sure this is a standalone palette just because it only has 3 mattes in here. That's a choice I'm kind of confused about. It would have been nice to have maybe 5, 6 mattes in here, but I think you're really going to purchase this to get your hands on her super high shine duochrome colors. So I'm just going to swatch a couple. Wow, okay, that's gorgeous. And I will say I am drawn towards Pat. I think similarly to Charlotte Tilbury in that on their Instagram, everything looks so glittery and glowy and beautiful. So I feel like if you just want to get your hands on, oh my gosh, these shimmers, this palette is the way to go, because most of us do have matte shades in our collection from brands that we know and love. Okay, I'm just gonna keep swatching and then I will put, oh my gosh, okay. I will put, oh my God. What is happening? This looks so pretty. I will put an overlay of actually all the swatches. Let's go into one of these purples. You guys, gorgeous, okay? I knew this was gonna be good. I could just tell it's prettier in person. When I saw it online, again, things are deceiving when you look at like Pat McGrath or Charlotte Tilbury. Everything just looks so different. And then when I saw it on the Sephora website, I thought, okay, that's really drawing me in. And then when I opened it in person, before even touching it, it just looks, you can just tell that it's gonna be super high shine. Some of these have like glitter in them. Some of them are duochrome. So let's swatch a few more. I went ahead and swatched 4 more of the metallics, and I can tell you these feel incredibly creamy, beautiful. I think if you wanna try Pat McGrath, specifically the really high shine shades that you see on her, Instagram, I think this is a great purchase. I think the price honestly is fair for what you get, and I think I would have liked more mattes, but honestly, it's a holiday release and I'm excited to use this. Like, it's hard for me to get excited about eyeshadow palettes, but this, I'm like, okay, you could go so many different ways. So I'm really excited to use this. Let me know if you pick this up and your thoughts on it, but I will definitely be using this in a Trying New Makeup to Come. So next I got a palette that I was kind of waiting to see more swatches and info on, and I love the original of this, so I went ahead and picked up the Dior Backstage Rose Gold Face Palette. So I know a lot of people are having issues. I am as well, with one of the shades kind of popping out of the pan. Not shattering, but you can't hold it up because it's not sticking down in the pan. I contacted customer service for Sephora. They're supposed to send me another one, and I'm a little bit afraid that it's gonna happen again. Other than that, so far I've been enjoying this palette. So this is what it looks like. And I love that these are not like super glittery, dusty all over. They do have a little bit of micro glitter in some of them, but they're more of your typical kind of metallic sheen. They have a gold one, and I think they also have like a bronze one for deeper skin tones. The gold one was kind of like medium. I would say this one would be the lightest, which is why I picked it up, because I thought I could use all 4 shades. Now I've used this 3 times and I have to say it's really beautiful. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm just not sure what's going on with the pans kind of coming out. Other than that, I want to show you some swatches. The colors are all pinky, but they're a little bit different, and I like that. There's not like a duplicate where you feel like, well, why did they do 2 of the same? They all have a different kind of tone. So here are some swatches, and on the back, it tells you the different highlighter finishes. So there's metallic, shimmer, and sheer. So it kind of just has everything in here. I think it's beautiful. I just wish that they could figure out what's going on with those pans falling out, because obviously trying to hold them up or travel with them probably is going to be a problem. Other than that though, I will say I'm very excited to have this in my collection. I probably won't pick up the other one just because the gold one looked really yellow, maybe a little bit deep for me. This is my preferred. I do love a pinky highlight, so I'm really happy to get this, and I hope my next one comes and it's not broken. So if you've been watching my channel, you know my love for the Patrick Ta cream and powder blush duos. I am just in love with them. I'm wearing one right now. Actually, I have 2 on. I use the She's So Olay to bronze a lot of the time, and then I use the pink one on my cheeks today. You know what? I just had to go for it, and I went for, out of my comfort zone, the deepest one. This is called Oh She's Different. It's the deepest colorway in the 4 that he has, and I do own all of them. I purchased them all myself. I love this formula that much, you guys. I use the powders almost every day. I don't always use the creams, but I do a lot as well. And this is a very kind of mauve berry color, really out of my comfort zone, but I thought for fall, this would be a beautiful colorway to use for tutorials. So here are some swatches. This is the balmy side, and then this is the powder. I love this because I can use either or both. It works well over powder, so a set face, which is really important to me. It doesn't disrupt my foundation, and it looks nice and glowy without just like sliding all over my face. Truly, he knocked it out of the park with this. I really hope that he's gonna come out with this same formulation in bronzer duos. I think that would be incredible to have a powder bronzer and then a cream bronzer to match. These are just stunning. One of my favorite products of the entire year. I feel like, seriously, one of my, actually it is, like, it's like top 5 for me this year. These blushes, every time I put them on, they work for me. I never have to struggle. They never patch up. They just look gorgeous. I think the colors are gorgeous. Obviously, I bought all 4. So I want to use this in a tutorial because I think it's just a little bit of a different color than I would typically use. Next up is a foundation that was sent to me in PR, and I fell in love with it, and I went ahead and got a different shade. So they sent me one, and this is the new Too Faced Born This Way Matte. I love this foundation. One of the best releases, in my opinion, of the year. To me, this is like a softer double wear. So it stays on really well, but it has a similar finish, and I just adore it. So they sent me vanilla, which works for me most days, but with the fresh tan, I went ahead and went up a few shades into natural beige. This is just a matte, long wearing foundation. It's smoothing. It doesn't like cling to patches. I will say these run yellow, and that's my only critique. I wish there was more neutral shades, but I love this foundation. It's very similar to Double Wear, as I said, but it's a little bit softer. So if you find that Double Wear is a little bit too locked down, a little bit too paint-like, I think you would enjoy this. I found it to be quite smoothing. It's a medium coverage. You can build it up. So one of my favorite foundations of the entire year. Like, this is, again, top 5 picks. I reach for this a lot. Every day, filming, whatever it is. So I wanted to get a different shade to be able to mix them and kind of have a shade for every stage of my self-tan. So Makeup by Mario came out with a new makeup line at Sephora, and I love his artistry. If you don't know who he is, he was well known for doing Kim Kardashian's makeup. I was super hyped for this, and he's starting out with eyes, which I would have loved like face or complexion more so, but I went ahead and picked up 4 items and I'm a little bit, I don't know yet. So I've saved most of them to use, but I've kind of played around a little bit. The first thing I got was the Master Crystal Reflector. So this is a highlighter, but he uses it on the eyes. And everybody's saying it's kind of the same texture as the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats. So here's the packaging, very simple. This is a Pro Artist line, and I picked up the shade Bronzite because it just looked the most beautiful when he did a demo. So it's interesting, when he did a demo on his Instagram, it just looks like crazy metallic, stunning. And then when everybody else has used it, it looks kind of just like a dry glitter. I'm a little bit confused on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it. Yeah, when you swatch it, not much is happening. Mine doesn't feel dry, but it just feels like nothing's coming off. I wonder if you really like blend it in. I guess you get more of a high shine. I guess we could try to just apply a little bit to my eyes. Okay, so I definitely see a glitter difference, but I don't know. On his Instagram, when he had this, like when he put them on the models, it looked insane. And I'm wondering if he used a mixing medium, a glitter glue. That's the thing, or a problem that I have with a lot of these celebrity brands, or just like Charlotte Tilbury, Pat McGrath. I feel like their Instagrams, things look different. And it's like, okay, but what kind of lighting? Do they have like a spotlight right on the model? So here's a swatch. Just a little bit underwhelming. I'm like, I don't know. I think that's kind of the consensus of a lot of people. Like on my lid, I can see it. You guys will have to let me know down below. When you see his demos on Instagram, I mean, it's like wet glitter, and I just don't know. I feel like you're gonna have to kind of amp it up with some sort of liquid setting spray, glitter glue. So I will play around with this, but I'm a little bit iffy on it. So also for Makeup by Mario, I am really not into this, and I'm kind of mad at myself for getting sucked in. This is the Master Secret Glow Highlighter. So this is a clear balm. And I tried one from Patrick Ta recently, and I didn't like it. It was super expensive. And I have tried some that I do like, which is kind of interesting. I have one from Beauty Blender that I think is great, and I have one from Tower 28. This, to me, I feel like is for photos only. So another thing, like I was saying, is that these Instagram models or the people you see on Instagram, they usually probably have a ring light or a spotlight like right on them, and then they put a filter on to smooth their skin, but they look wet. And to really look wet, you're going to need a wet product, which would be this highlighter. So it's literally clear. It's like Vaseline, essentially. And the thing I don't like about it is this is incredibly sticky, okay? I'm not usually like really weird about sticky stuff, but it's advertised as not being sticky, and it's very sticky. It's very tacky. And I read the reviews and people were saying the same thing. Whereas the Tower 28 and the Beauty Blender feel more like Vaseline. This is just so incredibly sticky, and I noticed that it did move my foundation. Now I've heard both, but for me, I just don't get it. It's like, even when I put it on, it didn't look that incredible either. And I think what I need to remind myself is that there's filters, there's lights, there's spotlights, there's all these different things these makeup artists do. So I think if you're going to take photos and you want to look like literally wet and glistening, I think this is great. But for the everyday consumer, I just don't see many people reaching for this. Also from Makeup by Mario, I did pick up this liner. This is the Master Mattes Liquid Liner. And the reason I got this is because it looked very matte. So I've tried this a couple times and I don't feel like I have control. This just doesn't bend for a wing for me, so this would be something I will use to go over the lash band or to go over a wing, or just if I want like a line on the top of my eye. But it is very black. I didn't notice any bleeding, and it is matte, which I like, and it feels very soft, but I'm used to a brush tip and this is a felt tip. This has great reviews on Sephora, so maybe it's just personal preference. Like for me, I like the KVD Beauty, I hate, like that's so annoying to say. The KVD Beauty tattoo liner is one of my favorites. The M Cosmetics has a great brush tip. Also the Artist of Makeup, like there's a lot, but they're all brush tip. This is felt tip, and I noticed, I tried this like 2 times off camera, and I just felt like I couldn't have control of a wing. So this would be like a topper to give me the matte look, but it has great reviews. I mean, it's very black, and it's matte, which is the purpose. I'm just super picky with my eyeliners. So the last thing I got from Makeup by Mario's line is his Master Pigment Pro Pencil, and I got super black. I wish I would have gotten the brown because the black, it kind of blends out to a navy blue, which is really interesting. Like, I don't know, that's not what I expected. Here is the pencil, very creamy, matte black. And then on the other side, there's a little brush. And that's why I bought it, because I struggle with doing like a smoky wing. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to smoke this out. It does smudge it out. It's a very, very, not stiff, it's a very flexible brush. But I just like the ease of having that if I wanted to smoke it out rather than trying to use a product and then grab a brush. So I thought this was a good idea. People seem to like this so far, and I, again, haven't used it that much. I used it like one time, but it does kind of fade when you smoke it to like a gray blue. So it kind of loses the pigment. So I'm a little bit like, okay, let's try it out. I'm gonna try these products out and trying new makeup soon. The concept is really cool, just having it, you know, a smudger on one side and the pencil on the other. And the smudger does seem to be efficient. The actual brush, it's very soft, so you can really blend it out. But it's just something I struggle with. I don't know. Overall, I'm a little disappointed with this launch, just because I was really excited. I feel like these artists make everything look so beautiful. And then when I watched reviews, I was kind of like, oh, these products look totally different, and I can't really figure out why. So next up is a repurchase of mine. It's something that I've recommended to you guys multiple times. The brand has sent me a couple, and I've purchased, I believe, one, and this will be my second. So this is the Tarte The Buffer, and this is their Airbrush Flawless, I literally can't say it, Airbrush Finish Bamboo Foundation Brush. Okay, it's a tongue twister. I like this because it doesn't leave streaks. It blends my foundation in beautifully and quick. I literally just go and I'm done. When you compare it to like a smaller foundation brush, I feel like it's just more time consuming. This one also works really well with powder foundations. So if I'm really just lazy and I want to just throw on a powder foundation and go, I wish I would have waited for the sale, because this is quite pricey, and I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, you know what? I really want another one because it's just quick and easy for every day. And I have come to terms with the fact that I cannot use a foundation brush twice. And it's so interesting, or a sponge. I used to like reuse, and actually somebody called me out years ago. They were like, your sponge is dirty, like wash that. And ever since then, I do not reuse a sponge or a brush. Like, I wash it every single time. So for me, having like 30 foundation brushes is nice, but I notice myself like wanting to use the same one over and over, but I don't wash them every day. So I kind of wait until I have like a couple weeks worth, and then I wash all my brushes. So for me, I'm like, oh, it's always dirty because I only have like 2. So now I have 3, and maybe when the sale comes, I'll buy like 1 or 2 more. So the last thing I bought was a brand that I was interested in, and it's something that I haven't tried before, because every time I wanted to buy it, I was like, Babs, you have this, you don't need this, you have shampoo, you have conditioner, you have this. But then I saw a gift set, and I was like, I want to try this, and I can try 4 products in one. So this is from a brand I don't even know how to pronounce, Jisoo, and this is the honey infused hair care set, limited edition for holiday. So you do get their honey infused hair oil, their hair wash, conditioner, and their hair mask. So this is what the package looks like, and these are pretty decent sizes. So I paid $55 for this, and it's a $79 value. And if you were to buy these all separately, like the full sizes, it would be expensive. So that's why I opted for this. So the first product is this hair oil. First of all, presentation A+. This is the honey infused hair oil. So you can use it on wet or dry hair, but I thought I would just kind of feel it. Feels quite thick for a hair oil. Like, I don't feel like there's any silicone in there. I feel like it truly is just an oil. So I feel like this would be more of a treatment for your ends. I wouldn't put this all the way through. I really enjoy the Verb Ghost Oil, so I'll have to kind of compare the two, but I love the packaging on this. It's so pretty. So next up, you do get a 2.5 ounce honey infused hair wash, which is their shampoo. I love the packaging on this. This has like a spa like scent, and you also get the honey infused conditioner. This is 1.7 ounces. So this has like a more sweet kind of honey scent than the shampoo. And then the hair mask. This is so cute. Honey infused hair mask. I use hair masks a lot just because I only wash my hair like 2 to 3 times a week. And this smells like the conditioner, just like almost like a botanical kind of baby powder honey scent. So have you tried this? I know there's another brand that reminds me of it, and it's new, called Bread, I believe. And I just love the packaging on these products. They have pretty good reviews, and this is probably something I didn't need because I have shampoo and stuff for days, but I thought this was a cute little set to be able to try 4 products for $55. I didn't think that was too bad. All right, guys, so that's everything for this Sephora haul. I know it wasn't huge, but I'm really excited to play with the Pat palette, the Dior palette. I feel like I got some goodies, and then some staples like the Too Faced foundation and the brush that I really did need to replenish on because I use it all the time. So I will link everything down below. What are you guys looking into for the friends and family sale? And then also the VIB is coming, so a recommendations video will be coming for that. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.